Hello, so this video is a little follow-up, I guess, from my previous video, which was the walkthrough for the BlackForm.ms tape synth package that, or sample library, I guess, that Spitfire Audio has just released. So in my last video, I walked through basically all the sounds except the presets that BlackForm did, and we just kind of had a little fiddle around and out of the box see how they sounded. In this video, I've spent a couple days now, I've created a track and we're actually going to see it in action and see what I did, and also talk a little bit about actually using it and what I found good, what I found bad, etc. So this is the little track I put together. I spent maybe a day and a bit, so nothing crazy. I have not used anything other than what is provided or what is actually in Logic. So you notice I have put a limiter on some things, a compressor and a little bit of EQ to brighten things up a little. But other than that, it's all simply out the box. You know, I'm no expert in mixing and mastering. I'm just a Joe Blog composer. So hopefully this is a good example of what you can really do, and it's a simple piece. Little things I noticed with the just actually using it. The sounds are great. There's a lot of evolution within them. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of motion, and quite easily, if you stack them up, it gets a bit too much, overwhelming, really. So almost less is more. Which is great because you don't have to stack up a full orchestra to create a sound. But at the same time, I struggled to find, I guess, a melodic instrument. And even when I did, which is the circuit square here, you really have to hike up the volume a bit. I think I hiked it up to what, 242%, just so it flies over everything else. That being said, you do find some nice little solo sounds, and really they are kind of your basic ones, like triangle, not that one, where is it? I believe, actually it is within the keys. It's like analog saw, circuit square, just the really, I guess, simple, down to earth, I think, yeah, nice and simple square wave keys. So those kind of ones obviously are kind of great for your melodic areas. Other ones, you got a little bit be careful. What I did find quite nice is there is actually quite a lot of short sounds as well that you can create some great arpeggios. Personally, I'm not a big fan of what they call arpeggios, which are these ones here. Where are they? There we go. They're not what I would really call like an arpeggio. So what I actually did instead was pick some of the short ones, and what's nice is click on short here and you get all the short sounds. There's not too many, not too few, so you can have a nice little bit of choice. And then quite literally what I did, if we actually look in here, is I stuck Logic's own Arpeggiator on it and did some different things. So you got some basic ones, 1/8 rate, and then I've got some triplets going against that, which sound awesome, which is all the blue. So I should actually kind of break down how I colored it, just so it makes sense to me. All the blues are arpeggiators, as you can probably see here. They line up with these four. Actually kind of can't see that one there. There you go. And these are more just your paddy sort of evolutionary soundy stuff, and then the red is my melody. That's how I broke it down in colors. But I did quite a few little things with the arps, and what's nice, if you actually kind of look in, a lot of these stuff are very similar and very same. This line here, this green bit up here, and these blues, you'll probably notice are practically the same except this one. But what's nice is you have this lovely pad sound and you have some arpeggiators. There's a lot you can do with a little. This track is not complicated at all, and that's another thing I love about this library, is a little goes a long way. And if you get anything from this video about this library, is a little goes a long way, from the small macro-ness of each instrument and just using the mod wheel, to having only a couple of patches, a couple of tracks to create what sounds like quite a complex piece. And so let's quickly go over what I have actually used. So for my melody, and let's just have a look as well as what I've done with my mod wheel recorded in. I've used the circuit square, and let's just have a quick listen to the patch. And you can see that already simply by using this mod wheel. We haven't even used it to the fullest. You're getting such unique little sounds within it, and I absolutely love that, especially when we come down here and actually look at some of these arpeggiators and what I've done. So you've got the triplets against normal time here, and if you listen, especially you just watch kind of the mod wheels with these. I'll open up both of them so you can actually see what's going on. So firstly, you can see how I set up my arpeggiators. This one's is the triplets, this one's just your simple 1/8. And so let's get rid of those so you can actually see the mod wheels, and let's just play just these 2 bits. And I panned both of them hard left and right, which creates a lovely stereo effect. I love doing that, especially if you, with any track really, 2 instruments playing maybe the exact same thing, but 2 different instruments, pan them hard left and right, and it creates such a beautiful stereo effect. And you can see just how much variation is created just by going up and down with the dynamic wheel, or the mod wheel I should say. And of course, arpeggiators are doing all the work. So basically I just copy and paste that there and stuck an arpeggiator on it. It's not complicated, very simple. So let's, without further ado, actually listen to the full track. that's a 2-minute 50 track right there. Tried showing you little bits and bobs as it was playing. This last little bit, just for reference, because it was quite light, was doing this. It's quite a fast 32 dotted, and it was shuffled. What I love about this Logic ARP is there's so much you can actually do with it, and it's free. It comes with a package, and just dropping stuff down and fiddling with it, you can create beautiful textures with these plucked sounds, more focused on the chords that you're actually using. Because I found with this package there's a lot of fifths and octaves and sometimes sevenths as well that are added on to the patches when you play, especially when you're using the mod or dynamic wheel. But I don't want it in this piece in certain places. So even just using those simple sounds. Let's turn this off. This is the simple sound. It's called floating dots. Beautiful little short sound, but then put it through an arpeggiator. Let's play a chord. And you get this beautiful glistening like texture from that simple short sound, which it just kind of glimmers. Just quite literally creates this floating dotty effect. Just subtle, but just keeps that motion. Which is absolutely lovely, even though there is a lot of motion in everything. And yeah, I love it. It's a lot of fun to play with, and you can create a lot of quick tracks quite easily, even with just one pad. If you're going for something a little more subtle, maybe some video game background stuff, not a full track. But even here, I have used, you can hopefully read here, the circuit square, which is keys, the aged pad, broken sine pad, the degraded sine keys, rotating, which is a pad, and a couple of presets, which are mostly my shorts, the floating dots. I think I used 2 lots of floating dots, actually. Let's double check. No, I use short and sweet, so this one's labeled incorrectly, which is a preset. And so I used a total of 9 tracks, and yet you could hear how much was going on there, and each instrument almost sounds like 4 or 5 within it in itself. I think I said that in the walkthrough. But this was something quick and easy I threw together, and I probably might do a little bit more work on it. And what's nice as well is Spitfire have their labs as well. You can add other bits and bobs to shape it a bit more, but I love the analog, the tape, the texture that really comes through, and you really do get a sense of that nostalgia, that synthesized sound with this package, especially when some maybe some Logics can sound a bit too electric. You really do get a nice little vintage sound that's very easy to work with in the end with this, and have a lot of fun with. And as you even saw when I highlighted this, I did find velocity does absolutely nothing, which can be a good or a bad thing depending what you are doing. But you can see I haven't really done anything. This was mostly just at the end to distort between the counter melody and melody, really. So that actually does absolutely nothing velocity wise, so you'd have to worry about that. But so much happens with the mod wheel, with the dynamic fader. So do you really want velocity sensitive at the same time? If I'm honest, it'd probably be a bit too much, because even just slight changes, as you've seen, go a long way. And so I've hoped this has helped you get a better picture of what you can actually do with this. It's a lot of ambience, if I'm honest, a lot of pad-like electric, tapey, that saturation. So this has been the BlackForm.ms tape synth in action from, I guess, a semi-professional amateur composer. I'll see you in the next video.